on the company's mind, on the management's mind. This is the first big move that they are making in terms of public relations effort to give their side of the story, the CEO himself speaking. Okay, the other stock in focus will be Bajaj Finance, once again raising equity. Ekta, what's the amount of money they are raising, and what do you make of the impact on the stock?
Well, they're approving, raising funds via QIP up to 1,400 crores. The QIP floor price is set very close to the current market price. So the floor price is 4,407 rupees. Remember that this is a part of the 1,800 crore fundraising plan that they have. So it is the second leg in terms of the fundraising that they have. They had approved it on the 21st of April, and the first leg was completed on the 2nd of June itself, where Bajaj Finance allotted 9.25 lakh warrants to Bajaj Finance, which is the promoter of Bajaj Finance, at around 4,412 rupees per warrant, which raised around 400 crores. And remember that the management post Q4 talking to us said that they are very well capitalized, and the fundraising is basically to take care of the future growth of the company. And the analysts and the people who have been speaking to don't see a problem in terms of Bajaj Finance raising capital easily. If you look at their stats, the capital adequacy ratio as of Q4 stood at 17.97%, NII up 28%, profit up 27%, gross NPL stable at 1.51%.
All right, Ekta, thanks for that. Well, let's go across to Pragya now and find out why she's watching GVK Power this morning. Pragya.
Well, Sonia, it's a small news, interesting news from the company's ambit. It's a new line of work which the company is sort of getting into. The company has acquired 100% equity share capital of GVK Airport Services Private Limited. Now, this company now becomes a wholly owned subsidiary for the airport services. Now, with this, the company will actually provide technical services on how to run airports both in India and abroad. So that's the plan going forward. It has nothing to do with the, what the company envisages by way of its IPO, bringing all of its airport divisions into one vertical. So that'll be a different piece of news, but it's a new line of work which the company is getting into. We have to see how much they're able to scale up this business, given the fact that GVK and GMR are the only two big players from the listed space within the airport functioning. So we'll have to see how big this business becomes. Small news for the company. I don't know how much the stock will just react to it.
Okay, there's no idea of what the size...
The size, yeah, because they are the only two players, and then, it can become a big opportunity for them, given the fact that, airport privatization is now a big theme, but nothing is happening now. It's going to take a while. So for them, how they'll bag the contracts, etc., is something we'll still have to see.
All right. Sonia, to you, Tyre Stocks should be in focus. They seem to be falling anyways.
Oh yes, this week
Apollo was like a big fall.
Yes, this week most of these companies have fallen about 10-odd%. So Apollo Tyres is down 10%. There was huge open interest seen in Apollo Tyres as well. Seat has fallen about 10-odd%. Now, we have seen rubber prices that have been rising marginally across the globe because of a drop in global supply. So that could be one reason. But my assumption is that the biggest reason for which these tyre companies are under pressure is because there's severe dumping of Chinese tyres into the market. And when we were speaking with the management of Seat last week, he said that, Anand Goenka said that in this quarter, record high amount of Chinese tyres have been dumped into the market, which are much cheaper and sometimes better quality as well. So
really?
In some cases they are in
the accusations are normally to the contrary.
Yes, but so what he said is that now the government needs to step up and do something about it, because we don't have it. It's not in our control. Chinese tyres account for 70% of the imported tyres, and in FY15 there was a 60% surge in the import of both truck and bus radial tyres. So, the situation is very tough for the tyre makers at this point in time. And of course, rubber prices are also rising, but that's just marginal. In any case, they've been benefiting for a long time because of the fall in rubber prices.
Okay, that's another reason why the rupee should depreciate. Any Indian company will tell you that. Ekta, once again, back to you. And this is a very important news for a very small sector, I agree, the microfinance sector. SKS Micro Finance has cut its lending rates.
Yes, absolutely. It's cut its rates by 1.55%. It's now effectively at 22% versus 23.5%. And this is effective July 1st, the second rate cut that the company has undertaken since October 2014. And it will become the lender with the lowest interest rates in the microfinance space. I was just looking at some research and I saw that Bandhan, though it's turning into a bank, currently had interest rates of around 22.4%. So that was the last effective interest rate that I could find for Bandhan. So SKS Micro stands lower at at that at 22%. What the management has said is that the announcement is consistent with the company's policy of passing on advantages from the reduction in cost of borrowing, economies of scale, operational efficiency, and you can really see that in the numbers, Lata. So for example, for FY15, it's the second consecutive year that SKS has surpassed its own guidance. For example, profit in FY15 was up 168%, which is surpassing the guidance of 125 to 150 crores. They did 190 crores or close to that in FY15. And for FY16 also, their profit guidance stands at 235 crores, which means or implies a growth of 25.2%, which also, you have to give it to them, comes on a high base.
All right, Ekta, thanks for that. So SKS Micro Finance in focus today, but NMDC will be under pressure post some production data that has been disappointing. Nigel?
That's right, Sonia. In fact, the stock has corrected a good 40% in the last 1 year. If you look at it, the production numbers as well were fairly disappointing for April and May. The production number was down by close to 16%. The sales data as well took a hit of close to around 20%. And remember, for the month of June, now NMDC has not changed prices, so that could be some indication that maybe they expect better offtake for the month of June, considering that in the month of April, they went ahead and they slashed rates by close to around 6 to 20% in the middle of the month. That was April 18th, April 20th is when they did that. That clearly indicated that there was some pressure in terms of offtake from all their production. For FY16, they have a big guidance of around 35 to around 38 million tons. That's going to be quite a steep ask, given that, in fact, we have seen already production dips in the first couple of months. So expect the stock to be under pressure. Valuation-wise, though, 50 rupees off that share price comes only on the back of the cash balance because they're sitting on a heap of cash.
All right, thanks for that, Nigel. Back to you, Ekta. Oh, you're overworking, Ekta. Lupin, why is that on your radar?
Yes, well, they've got US FDA approval for generic X-Forge HCT tablets, which are basically used for blood pressure. It's a $150 million market, around 4 to 5 players in the company in this particular drug. And Lupin, we do understand, could earn around $10 to $20 million annually. So it would be in focus in terms of a sentiment positive, because US FDA approvals have been slowing across the board for many Indian companies. So any sort of US FDA approval that a company gets will be a shot in the arm. And I think there's some news on Sun Pharma also, Lata. Well, I have been hearing from analysts and from some market people that it is expected to be positive news with regards to the merger, which is flashing on your screen.
All right, Ekta, yes, the shareholders have approved the merger of Sun Pharma Global with the company, so you can expect the stock to react positively to that. But here's a quick recap of our top 10 stocks today. Just Dial, Coal India, Nestle, Bajaj Finance, GVK Power, Apollo Tyre, SEAT, SKS Micro Finance, NMDC and Lupin. Thanks, guys, for giving us all of those